Let's talk about one of the most bizarre and unsettling cases in modern Indian history, the Burari deaths. 11 members of the same family found dead in their home, 10 of them hanging with saris, blindfolded and gagged. What happened behind closed doors in that quiet Delhi suburb? Let's break it down in 5 minutes. On the morning of the 1st of July 2018, at around 7:15 a.m., a neighbor of the Chundawats, also known as the Bhatia family in Burari, Delhi, went to check on them. The shop the family owned hadn't opened, which was unusual as they usually opened at around 5 to 5:30 a.m. What the neighbor found next shocked the entire country. Inside the house, 10 members of the family were discovered hanging from an iron mesh in the ceiling of the hallway. They were blindfolded, gagged, and had their hands tied behind their backs. The 11th family member, 80-year-old Narayan Devi, the matriarch of the family, was found dead in another room. Her body showed signs of strangulation. The victims included 3 generations, and I apologize for any mispronunciations. Narayan Devi, the matriarch, as mentioned, her daughter Pratibha, 2 sons, Bhuvnesh and Lalit, their spouses respectively, Savita and Tina, and 5 grandchildren, Priyanka, Neetu, Monu, Dhruv, and Shivam. The youngest were both just 15 years old. The Chundawats were a well-known family in the neighborhood. They owned a grocery shop and a plywood business. By all accounts, they were quiet, friendly, and not known to have any serious financial or interpersonal issues. But things hadn't always been smooth sailing. In 2004, something happened that completely changed Lalit's life. After a dispute with his employer over wages, things took a terrifying turn. Lalit was pushed under a pile of plywood sheets and set on fire. Somehow, he managed to escape with his life. The case was later settled with a compromise, but the damage was done. Lalit was deeply traumatized. He lost his voice and stopped speaking after the incident. And according to his family, he was never quite the same again. And then, in 2007, Bhopal Singh, the patriarch of the family, passed away. After his death, Lalit began behaving strangely. He started speaking again, and he claimed he could see and speak to his father's spirit. But the family didn't seem alarmed. If anything, they believed him. The key to this case came in the form of 11 handwritten diaries found in the house, kept over a period of 11 years. The entries were meticulous and detailed. They weren't just random thoughts. They were instructions, daily routines, rituals, and even punishments for not following spiritual guidance. It was later revealed that Lalit had been writing in the diaries. The entries suggested that he believed that his deceased father was communicating through him. He'd apparently convinced the rest of the family that the spirit was guiding them towards salvation. One chilling entry outlined a ritual called Bad Tapasya, loosely translated as hanging meditation. The ritual described a process where the family would tie themselves up in a specific way, hang for a brief moment to prove their devotion, and then they would be saved. They believed they would not die, and that something divine would happen. Now, police initially suspected foul play. 11 people don't just die like this without someone being responsible. So was it murder, a suicide pact, a cult ritual? But the lack of struggle and the uniformity of the bindings and the diary entries all pointed to something else. A shared psychosis, or in French, folie à famille, a collective delusion held by a group. Lalit appeared to be the central figure, directing the entire family's belief system. There were no signs of coercion, and CCTV footage from the night before showed the family members moving about normally. Some of them even helped set up the hanging structure. The women and the children were involved too, and this further complicated the narrative of any single person being fully in control. The Burari deaths captured the attention of the entire country, and Netflix, who released a documentary series in 2021 called House of Secrets, The Burari Deaths, something to check out if you want a deeper dive into this case. Now, theories flew, everything from occult involvement to secret cults. But ultimately, it seemed to boil down to a tragic blend of mental illness, grief, and blind faith. The house was sealed off for investigation, but people still gather outside to this day, unsettled by what happened. The property has been sold since, but the legacy of the Burari deaths remains, a chilling reminder of how deeply belief can take hold and how it can spiral beyond control. The Burari deaths aren't just a mystery, they're a psychological tragedy and a puzzle that may never fully be solved. If you found this case interesting, please follow us for more true crime cases